Hello everyone and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. We are playing through NeoBurgh today, and last time we managed to get our food processing plant here all set up. It's still early days yet. We've got a lot of grain on its way to the factory, so hopefully we will start to see a lot more movement over here with time. And we are also waiting on our ship to come up so that we can bring grain over and food back. So that's currently a work in progress. It's just getting to where it needs to go, and we're also just keeping an eye on the food lines, making sure they transport what they need to where they need to. So in this episode, I'm thinking we just keep an eye on things. We've got some need for some more vehicles over here on all these lines actually, which is good to see. It means that hopefully these are making a fair amount of money. I'd imagine that the Kesgrave one will need a vehicle as well, so we might as well get that moving. Down here, right, what's happening here? Why are they taking time to deliver? Are we getting all of our supplies? We are. Oh, this is fantastic. Okay, so over here, this is getting all of its supplies, which is good. It means that hopefully we're making a lot of money on this line. Yeah, we are making a fair amount of money. That's good. We should also be providing tools down to here, meaning that this one can make a decent amount of money. It is. So these are going off with 25. There's not quite 25 there. In fact, it almost looks like maybe we have too many vehicles, because these are waiting. So if we take a look here, this one has almost full, 251. This one has 189, almost. This one's waiting to fill up over here. This one's going at relatively empty. So yeah, they are somewhat empty. There's a lot of traffic here, but let's not get too distracted by that. It's probably more to do with the speed of these roads. So if we upgrade these roads up to here, in fact we might as well just upgrade the whole shebang. Maybe even upgrading that bit so that the bit at the junction is relatively fast. It might be because these are having to go up quite a steep hill. Yeah, it looks like there's a bit of a slow incline there.
Hey.
Lots of different noises. So hopefully we can get this moving. Going forward, it's just a case of how's things. Just keeping an eye on things, making sure that stuff is getting to where it needs to go. Don't we have some vehicles over here? Yes, we do. I think these might have originated from the Winsford line, to be fair. How's this doing? A fair amount of money, actually. So there's a lot of bricks down here. And I would imagine we're just literally waiting for the consumers to go up, the supplies to go up. We're only getting 80% from here again. This is almost there, 70, 72, 79 even. So maybe one more vehicle should do the trick. The difficulty there is it's not making us a lot of money. But it is what it is. If we set up a line up to the Coulsdon construction material plant, then we could very well be hooking that one in, and then we would have more need for these to bring through stone. I kind of want to leave it, and hopefully this one will despawn and then spawn somewhere else in the map. That's my hope at least, but I don't know whether that's actually going to happen. It might be a case of it just doesn't really happen, unfortunately. I'm hoping that if it spawns somewhere closer, it may be a little bit easier for us to get to. But then again, if we're putting in train lines, there's going to be less lines here, so we could just set up a line here quite easily. Say on number 10 and use number 11, and then we could even remove out the one on the end that was causing some issues with the geometry here. So that'll just clean things up a little bit, which is nice. There we go. So if we set up a plant up here, I mean, I don't want to do it too close to the city because the emissions, to be fair, the emissions are on the other side where we don't want them. So we could very well just set that up on the other end, but if we keep it away from the city, it means that the city can grow into that area a little bit more. So I think we'd literally just be setting up a line to go up and back. I don't think it's necessarily going to be doing anything too different to everything else. So we could do a road into there, and then if we just delete off that one, then we can use number 2. We would want them to fill up with stone and then unload bricks, and then up here they'd be doing the opposite, so unloading stone, picking up bricks. So we have a vehicle over here that we can use. Put that on line 1. So this would be the Coulsdon line. Cargo, road, stone, and bricks. Number 1, I think this is. Coulsdon. colour it red considering the bricks are the final product that they're going to be shipping. And then that one actually uses the left-hand lane here, which is nice. We do need to get these train lines in. And to be honest with you, I was thinking about this. As it is so expensive, it might be worthwhile having the lines sort of merge around, say, this point, and then, or even, say, around here, and then they can share the same track in order to get that line in. It's just so much money. It really is. So what are the height differences? If we just look quickly, so at this point we're at 4.7 meters, 5.1 meters, so about 0.4 meters in it, and then 0.93 meters. So all in all, like about 5 meters difference between the three stops or stations. So if we kept this one flat, this road's going to be a bit of an issue. We can remove that road and probably go around the back of this. To be fair, it doesn't really do much because everything's coming down this way now. I just figured it's probably best to get this in rather than have it sitting dormant doing nothing. So we want this to be flat. Is that flat? Maybe we need you to turn to go in this direction. It's a little bit frustrating that this won't go into a tunnel further on. So if we do it sort of piece by piece, this line would be coming through around here as well. You know, it's not the best way to do this. It's literally just a case of it costs so much money to put this line in, to the tune of $86 million. It's just a huge amount of money. We might as well try and save a little bit and use the other train line coming through as well. So if that stays flat, we can actually keep it just underneath that road. I want it to snap to where it will be going straight. Is that it? It'll be going straight more this way. Ah, maybe that's straight through. Okay. The only problem then is it creates some artifacts there. So if we just clean that up, we can put the road behind it probably after the fact. So straight is there. We literally just have to tidy this up a little bit. Like so. This might save us so much money with these lines. To be fair, if we did a more direct route through, it might be a better line for this stuff. I mean, not a lot of it's going to be using this road, to be fair. To be honest with you, it's kind of redundant. Oh wow, all the elevation gain is right here, right where it goes into a tunnel. That's annoying. So I think we would rather it let's curve and come this way. And then that will connect in here. Quite nicely, to be honest with you. Then we can get rid of this little bit. Then we have a train line coming through this way. We have a train line coming through this way. They both need to go in this direction. So this would need to be going more off in this direction. It's very tricky to do this piece by piece because obviously we don't want to misalign it and cause the trains to slow down. But at the same time, we need to do something so that it can flow a little bit better. So I think this would be roughly where the trains would need to split and come down this way. In fact, we can delete this back a little bit so that that's more in that direction. And I'm thinking if we have this come in to this rail line, and we have a separate line that avoids it almost. Something like this. Construction not possible. because we don't want to cause traffic on this line. But equally, we need to split these out. So that should be relatively fast through. And then we can basically remove this bit in the middle and have that be where this other train line goes into. Something like this. So then we're only actually having one line where the traffic has to cross. And then we've got this one coming down. And if we hit play, we should have a little bit more money come in order to work with. Once we have about, well, enough to do one line through, then that gives us something to work with. But until then, we're still kind of guessing where this needs to go. This needs to raise up here. Let's bring on the to raise this area to avoid it coming out of a tunnel, because we don't want that. And then we'll do a similar thing on this side, where we'll have almost a queue for stuff to cross over. Anything going straight through to Burgh Marsh should be able to go quickly straight through. But then stuff coming back from Burgh Marsh and stuff that's going to Alford will need to cross, which isn't ideal. I'd much rather have two separate train lines. But what can I say? It is what it is. It's 100 odd million to put this in. We can't really afford to do that, unfortunately. Definitely not at this stage in the game. So we want this to be able to go quite fast, straight through. God, working on tunnels when they're this far down is quite tricky with this game. And then we can have these split off as well. A relatively fast speed. So that's 186 all the way through. I don't think any of our cargo lines are going to do 186 miles an hour, but it pays to be prepared. Right, so I should really set up the signals here while I know what's going on. So this one's going this way, that one's going that way, and that's literally the only spot where they cross. Then down here they merge and unmerge. So that would be something like that. And then down here we would need stops there. And then on this section it would just be normal stops coming through. Same on the other side. That being said, we don't want to put the stops too close, otherwise they might cause the stuff going through to have to wait. If a train coming through for Alford crosses and it has to wait there and it can't go all the way through, that would be bad. But that would be like quite a few trains, or a very long train, I should say. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen, because we'll probably have 1 or 2 trains on the lines, I think. Not too much more, because they'll probably be quite high capacity trains. We just need a crossover here. Oops. Like so. Stop there. There we go. So those are in, the stops are in. It's just a case of trying to get this train track all the way through to here. It's not going to be easy. I mean, it's going to cost 75 now. So we're chipping away at it. It's a shame that we can't do something like take out a loan for the rest of the payment. So we put down, say, 40 million. The game gives us another 35 million automatically. And then we just pay off that loan with time. I suppose we could do that manually if we really wanted to, but to be honest with you, I'd much rather just wait. I don't know what we're going to do on this end. It might be worth just using one of these dual terminals. Because if we have to unsplit it on this end, that's going to get quite tricky. So I was thinking maybe if we had these come to a certain point and then we just have the right hand one go into this one, so the one on the middle, and then the left hand one go into this one, and then we have these cross over, and that would be where the stop would be, if that makes sense. So we would effectively be giving the 2 lines 3 terminals to potentially go to, and then it just works itself out when it wants to use the different tracks. Because if we have to put more in on this side, I'm not too sure how we're gonna do that very well. It's a tricky one. It really is. But we've almost got enough money now. We're up to 54. We could start building it on this side potentially. So we want to keep it straight and flat. So then this one would be the one that has to cross over. Potentially. If I'm right, if I'm thinking the same way as the other way. So we effectively had these two cross over, didn't we? Would that work on this side? I mean, in theory, it probably could. So we would need the track further up to split. So if we go through, it might actually be quite useful to know where to work on this. Further up, so we would have the middle track be the one on the way back. And then we would have a track here. I'm just trying to get this straight in my head. I can't. This one would connect in there. Would it? Is that right? And then we'd have this one coming back through. So number one, this would effectively serve as a way back here. Should probably raise this here. And then we can smooth it out once we've got this in correctly. So right. This one would go here. This one would go here. And this one would come through and not have to cross because it would be merging into this. Lane, maybe. Maybe it needs to be a little bit further back. It won't merge, will it? Okay, if it's not going to merge, we'll take it from further back. And we will merge at this point down here. So these will merge down here. So this way, only these two need to cross at any point, at any given point. That being said, we need to cross these over at some point, which will be tricky. Construction not allowed. Possibly what we could do is have these cross a little bit more. Further down. And then that way we can do crossover around here. Possibly. So then this will be the only point where traffic has to actually cross over itself. But then again, if we allow that to cross here and wait here, then that might actually block this other route out, which we don't want. This is tricky. Tricky. Down here, these are going to merge. Around here, these are going to split. And then all of a sudden, we have the money that we need. He says. Then he needs another 40 million to go back. We could do it little by little. It's this mountain that costs a fair bit. So maybe if we go back to, say, here, we can afford that section of tunnel. We should be able to afford this section of tunnel quite easily in a few minutes. If we whack it onto higher speed, maybe even that section, and then it's this bit right where the big mountain is that just costs us a lot of money. We need like a decent payday to come through to allow us to afford this. We're up to 4 million. And we're back down. Yeah, it's going to take us a little bit of time to afford that, so let's just put in the stops every so often. I almost thought that we were getting more expensive stops, but it's just literally We have no money at the moment. Money keeps bouncing in and out. When this is done, it will seem so trivial, and we'll take it for granted. But the lengths that we've had to go to get this all in is a bit nuts, really. It's probably best to have a few extra stops along the way, on the way out, so they can pick up speed. This is quite a big gap. And then we need to put in the train line back. If we could just have enough money to do this in one foul swoop, it would be beautiful. But it just costs so much. We almost have... Oh, when I last looked at it, we had 12 million, so we were like 1 million off. But we're close. We can almost do it. Come on! It's so close I can taste it. There we go. Oh, thank goodness for that. It's all in. Jeez, that took a while. So we just put the stops in, which of course we can't afford. Let's just pause it while we've got a little bit of money. And then we'll put the lines in. I think we will call it there. So we are going to put in 2 lines here. One on the first one, using the second one as an overflow. This will fill up on bricks. It'd be awesome if we could take something back. And then the second one will be on the 3rd track, using number 4 as an overflow, filling up on bricks. So let's use number 1 for... Which one has the higher demand? I think it's Burgh Marsh. So this one's 163, this one wants 184. It's close, but Burgh Marsh just about takes it. So put it on number 1, use number 2 as an overflow, and then literally they're just unloading bricks. That's the entire purpose of this line, is to just unload bricks. But once it's in, should be quite worthwhile. So if we just copy the naming from over here, this will be line number 3 to Burgh Marsh. Make that red. This will be number 4 to Alford, and we'll make that red as well. And then we have it. It's all in. We do need to do the train lines, or rather, we do need to put the trains on the train lines, but that can wait. We've done a fair amount here. I'm really quite happy with this. It's just a case of it's taken so darn long to get this all in. Now we can actually start to think about our road over the top here. But yeah, I think this will probably be something for another day to finish off. Plug that in there, and then Bob's your uncle. We've got a route through that doesn't need to interact with this. Although, actually, we don't have a route. Ah, no, we do need a road here. I do apologise. And then this one will be coming in here. Hopefully. Maybe. Maybe not. Bit of a sharp bend there. Bit of an unnecessary bend, actually. There we go. It's a bit more stretched out there. Yeah, I don't know whether anything will actually go that way, but it may well do. This has been a long time in the works, and actually we now have enough money to put a train on, so we might as well try and put a depot in. This is looking a little bit strange, isn't it? I was thinking maybe we could split off here, and then that way we could have a train depot up here somewhere. Something like that. We should really upgrade. It makes little to no difference, but I want our train depot for this one to have the best of the best, so let's make that a non-one-way, even though it won't be able to come out this way. And we can start to think about what trains we want. I mean, the Series 246s are quite reliable, and to be honest with you, I don't think we need too much capacity. 120 capacity is, you know, a good 2/3-ish of those lines. So we'll pop that onto the Alford line. Oh no, wait, I wanted to put that on the Burgh Marsh line. Whoops. Where's the Alford line? Alford line, Alford line. Put this on the Burgh Marsh line. There we go. Put it on the Burgh Marsh line, considering the Burgh Marsh line takes more. And then we can relocate this in the next episode, probably. So we'll literally just be putting a terminal at the other end for Burgh Marsh and moving the spot where this picks up from to over there. This has been a massive undertaking for us. When we realised it's going to cost 100 million, I genuinely was quite shocked at that. Just because it's a lot of money. I mean, merging these is probably the best way to go for value, but whether it could have been a little bit better for us to have separate lines coming out here, it would have cost double what we have already spent. So I'm kind of happy with it not being that. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, then let me know with your thumbs. If your thumbs don't cut it, then let me know in a comment. If you've enjoyed this series so far, there should be a fair bit more coming. So consider subscribing. It will allow you to know when these come out next. But until next time, have a goodbye.